Andrew Lopez joins us now, covers the NBA for ESPN and, of course, the New Orleans Pelicans. He's on Twitter @_Andrew_Lopez. Andrew, we appreciate the time. How are you?
I'm good. As you can tell, I am very much rushing to get into the airport right now. So apologies, but I am good. I am heading to my next destination, but also trying to try to just figure out what just happened at the Pels facility today. There was a lot of exits, a lot of talking, a lot of Griff, a lot of everybody else. So all around good day so far.
So I was kind of talking there while Beck was getting you on the phone. Did you feel like David Griffin had a bit of a different tone today than he has in past exit press conferences?
No,
Okay.
and here's why. I think there's a lot of context that was missing with some of the tweets today. First off, him just kind of ripping and kind of saying we in the past we've kind of erred to the side of continuity because we haven't seen what it looks like, and now we've seen it enough. I feel like there's more to that. I think more so that's kind of talking about just the roster construction of saying, hey, now we've seen this, we have a good sample size, and now we know what a better route to do. Several times he talked about, we have three really good players, and now it's about finding the right pieces and fits around them. So you look at, okay, maybe what do you do at the center position? Do you need a lead guard? Do you get a point guard at some place? I know players talked about, Brandon said, it would be nice to have somebody like that. But to me, it's just more of, hey, look, we're going to continue to get better. And I think that's always been his line is we're going to continue to get better. I just think in the past, it was about getting healthy. And then now it's more of, seeing what pieces fit around these guys. And if you then have to make a move with one of them, sure, you can be in position to do that. But I think to me, I got the message was we're just going to try to be better, however it is, which to me has always kind of been what he has said.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the moves that they're going to make or could make because there's plenty of them. And you brought up center, and that's been a hot topic definitely down the stretch for this team. Jonas has been a stalwart for them, fan favorite, all of those things. You didn't see him a lot in the fourth quarters this season, and it really hurt the Pelicans down the stretch in some games, not having that presence inside. Where do they go for center? I mean, is there an avenue to bring Jonas back, or is this draft or free agency for them now to address that position?
To me, it feels like free agency or trade avenue. I don't think there's anything that would be there at, say, 17 or 21, I should say. I don't think they're going to take the Lakers pick at 17 or 18, but the pick at 21, I don't think there's necessarily probably anybody who's going to be there that could help you next season. Maybe there's a guy you can draft who you could hope could develop into that, but right now, no. To me, it doesn't feel like there's that person in the draft. So, at least not at that spot, I should say. So, to me, then you have to look at the trade market. You have to look at free agency. We've seen what Willie likes to do at that position. You want somebody who can obviously switch and defend, and you still want that person to be able to shoot just a little bit. But if you're looking for a low volume 3-point shooting center who can switch and protect the rim, I think that's like a made up person. There's not that many of them who are going to be low volume, and be able to fit into what you want with your offense. So, to me, it's just kind of a hard thing to try to figure out. But at the same time, you're going to have to find something, and you just go to try to find somebody who can check the most of those boxes as possible. If it's somebody who doesn't shoot, all right, maybe you put them in the dunker spot, but you work with them on a shot. But it's going to be something they have to address this summer.
But you do believe like this is finally the breaking point with Jonas. I mean, I know that was a conversation last offseason, but now he's a free agent. So I mean, it's right. There's nothing tying him, correct?
Yeah, I'm never going to say never, but I have a hard time believing that he'll be back as a starting center next year unless maybe other things change. But maybe I don't know if there's a world where he takes money to be a backup center, but it's to me just a lot going on that he would have to be back next year.
Brandon Ingram's future is interesting. I mean, I think everyone's expecting the Pelicans obviously to sign him to the extension. Looking at it'd be correct 4 years, $208 million. But how does that negotiation kind of go, Andrew? Is more what I'm interested in because I mean, look, BI. It was not a great series for him against Oklahoma City, but
No.
that's 4 games, man. Like that's a small sample there for a guy who did set career marks, in certain parts of his game this year. But the injury aspect of that, he's missed. I'm looking at 154 games since 2016, 2017. So there is a lot of risk there with that extension. It seems like it's an easy choice, but how does that negotiation kind of go?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily all right. I'm a max guy. Give me the 2. The most I could get off of this. Maybe you go to him and say, hey, we'll give you a $40 million, a 120 extension or something like that. But there are some negotiations to be had there. You can still get a raise, but we still value you. But we need to have flexibility in other areas. And I mean, to the other point, I mean, his series, it was not a great series, but it was also not a great series for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
One of which being he's still coming back from that bone contusion in his knee, and none of the games he had were really great. I mean, I think in the Kings game in the play-in, he scored 24, but still wasn't, Brandon. And he didn't want to make an excuse about that even last night, but, it is what it is. He didn't look like he was getting to everything. A lot of that is on Lou Dort. Lou Dort is an all-world defender and played incredible defense on Brandon throughout the series, as did other players when they were switched on to him. But that, to me, was not the best version of Brandon that we saw. Now, when you look at avenues to make this team better, I think they're going to look at all avenues, whether that's obviously trade. And if you're obviously trying to bring in a big salary, you have to send out a big salary. If negotiations on the extension do go awry and he's not feeling, that it's up to what he thought, then you could make, some more moves there. So to me, I think it's sit down, think about it. Hey, we want to do X, Y, Z. We value you at this, and try to come to some understanding while also seeing, what ultimately is kind of best for the team. And
then the other extension that's now eligible is Trey Murphy for his rookie extension. And I mean, look, he had an awesome year for the Pelicans. I know he was asked about it today, and he gave the answer you're supposed to. I just want to play. The money's not important. I just want to play. How much of a priority is re-signing Trey Murphy for the Pels?
Well, they're going to have those extension talks, but also Trey started with it's not about the money, and then followed up with, all right, I'm not going to just sign for free.
Yeah, right.
He came back and was like, no. Like I also want you to know that there's more to this than just that. So he's like, yes, I do want to be able to have generational wealth and set my family up and do all these things I've wanted to do for a long time playing basketball, but it's not going to be a situation where he's like going to take the minimum because it's not about the money. I mean, it's the NBA. It's always about that. So. But trying to get him to an extension, we saw it. They're going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be interesting what his number comes at, what they value him at, and maybe what they do there changes what they do with Brandon Ingram, because obviously that extension wouldn't kick in next season, but then you have an extra $20 or $30 million contract on the books moving forward. What does that look like? How does that change what you want to do? And now his salary is going to be approaching what a fourth guy essentially at that point. So to me, that's where things can really start to get a little weird. But you see, they value Trey. They saw that what he could do as a starter. Obviously, he's a very good basketball player, and I think they're going to try to figure something out on the extension this summer.
It's going to be a really interesting offseason for the Pelicans, man. They're coming off of 49 regular season wins, another trip to the playoffs. It didn't go how you wanted, but there are some positives and plenty of them to take from this campaign under Willie Green. And you got to see 70-plus games of Zion, which was awesome. So, Andrew, we appreciate the time and helping us kind of set the stage for what could be an eventful offseason. I'm sure we'll talk again, and safe travels to the next playoff destination, my man. I appreciate you making some time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.